relaxing walk. So when Bailey walks, I'd like all of you to just observe. You don't necessarily have to say anything, but it's really good to be watching other dogs too when you're not performing.
You can actually just walk down the center.
Oh, the center and back,
yeah,
okay.
so that you kind of have distance.
Okay. She did a very good shake.
Yeah.
When you shake off, it's something dogs do when they're a little stressed, and they shake it off. She had a nice soft wag of her tail. She looks at other dogs, but she didn't really pull you to them. She just looked.
It was a little avoidance, and I think it's because it stresses her when other dogs are stressed.
Yes.
And she feels that stress.
Yeah. One of the things about dogs is they try to de-escalate a problem. So the dogs will pick up stress from other dogs way before we do. And they'll try to do something to calm that dog down. So,
Next.
yeah. So just the same thing up and back.
Step and back. Go this way. Let's go. Let's go. Good job. Come on in.
Okay, anybody see anything for Addie? Yeah, Addie was wonderful. She was very calm. She kept checking in
Yeah,
periodically.
Four times she looked at her handler very quick, and we love to see that.
Yeah.
We love to see that.
And she had a nice soft wag.
But at the end, we got a big shake off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means she
Yeah,
was.
she knew it was over.
Yeah.
Okay, I did it, I done, I passed,
Yeah. Very good.
Would you try with, take spring break?
Stay opposing, right?
Yeah, and I want you
Sure.
to keep a good view of watching him, so I want you to be able to pick up any sign of his stress.
Other times we're going to celebrate that reading that he gave me, but for right now, I'm going to ignore it.
Okay, nice. So what did you see on Joey? After he walked by Max, and Max seems to be a trigger to Joey, but he was pretty calm with the other dog. When he got past Max, he did a great big shake off. That was shaking off any stress that he had picked up. And then he was very people oriented. He came up to people with basically very polite greetings, even though he didn't sit. And then he walked back down.
Dogs, you're never going to get a dog who doesn't feel stress. When they're stressed and what we're looking for is how does your dog
How do
handle
they
it?
handle
And
it?
he did really well.
He did.
He
How
did
did
really well.
Did it?
he handle it, and how do you handle it?
Yeah.
Because when you're out of visit, and you're with your dog anywhere, there's advocate.
I wouldn't pass that walk on a test because of the amount of yanking. There were a couple of yanks. So, I know we're still working through it, so at this early stage it's not a problem, but this is what we want to work towards.
So it's not what the dog did, it's what the handler did. That's, again, enforcing and redefining the fact that you're a team. So you can do something that the dog's not even aware of that can cause you not to pass the exam, because it's how you react. Again, you're a team.
So in the test, let's say for example, I'm a dog, right? And I go up to Max, and I'm very interested, that's not a failure. But if you yank me off, that would be a point lost, okay? So I can be very, very interested, and then you go, oh, and you get him to just refocus in some way. That's great. So I don't mind that he looks at Max. I wouldn't mind if he lunged at Max, but I want to see that connection between the two of you, that you're able to stay, and it could be even through speeding up a little bit. That's another way that you can keep that focus if you felt that he was staying too long. But this is not a problem, me looking at Max. Whatever it is, if you narrate the experience, even though you might think, oh, the dog doesn't speak English, well, that's true, but somehow the dog gets it. Okay, something new is happening and you're narrating it, you're sort of previewing it for them. So that's a lovely thing to do before they're, and you can do that in the test. Okay, we can walk now, you know.
You know, the last class she was sleeping during
That's
that.
right. And there are days like that, just like you have days like that.
Well, we're also stressing her more. Because
Yeah,
last
we're
week we
asking
all
for it.
sat, today she's been watching these dogs walk back and forth, so this is a little different for her, it's new, and it can add more stress. Not only are we watching the dogs that go back and forth and watching their signals, we're also watching our dogs that are seated. And again, it was a lot more for her this week than last week. Okay, so you wanna try with Max now?
Thank you. No, I don't think she likes that.
Yeah, we would totally fail.
So, what did we notice about Max?
Sit. Good boy.
There were a number.
Oh, there's, I mean,
Well, he was doing
I
tongue-
told him a couple times.
Yeah, you did, but he wasn't, he was doing some tongue flicks. So he was showing us that he was nervous. He was also keeping his head down, which is really good. Sniffing is a calming signal for dogs, so he was trying to calm himself. When he felt stressed, he had his nose down, he was sniffing. Sniffing is good, because he did that the other day out in the
Yeah.
yard. So sniffing is a really good thing for Max to do, to calm him down. If you notice he's getting stressed, take him for a little walk, let him sniff where he wants to sniff, okay? When you're finding that your dog is stressed, give him the choice of what he needs, and let him choose to sniff. Same thing with Zora, she went out, she wanted to sniff. The story that I like is that before we had to wear masks, I used yawning to calm very stressed dog out in a kennel. I couldn't get the dog to let me leash him up, he was cowering in the back of the kennel, so I just sat down on the ground sideways and talked a little bit, and then I started yawning and yawning and yawning, and he picked up on the yawning and yawning, and he got a little closer because he realized I understood his stress. So yawning is another great, when the dog does it, do it back to him. It's your signal that, oh, I understand. So, I think everybody did great.
Beautiful.